Hello, my name's James. I'm a portrait photographer from Portsmouth in the UK, and I welcome you to this and wish you a happy holidays wherever you're watching in the world. This is our best of 2025 video. I'm going to take you back through some of the tutorials that we've shared with you over the year of 2025 and share with you 5 of my favorite images that we captured live and in studio for you on this YouTube channel. We've seen massive growth in our community on here. We thank you very much for being a part of that. I hope you've had an amazing 25. I hope you're looking forward to an amazing 26. And I hope you're going to enjoy some of the highlights that we've had in studio this year. We look forward to sharing more stories, more workshops, and more learning into the new year. But without further ado, let's take you to some of our highlights. Notice here as well that we've got 2 black polyboards either side. They're controlling the spill of light. So that means that I'm not getting bounced back in. Everything should be chiseled around and giving us nice refined edges to the portraits. But what if I want to make a little bit more of the lighting itself and the direction of the light? Well, we can just amend it slightly just by moving the direction here and moving our light round here to a more Rembrandt style. And when we start to do that, we'll start to see slight different shapes and changes to the tonal range of the portrait there. Much more chiseled jawline on the left-hand side and good highlights there coming in through the hair on the right. And then with this amazing makeup and hair, we can turn our model this way. So we're facing 90 degrees this way, all the way around, moving the feet with you. There we go. And we get ourselves a lovely profile there. Simple profile shot with that light in that position, and then turn your head so you're looking towards me. 3, 2, 1, go. There. Straight, look at that connection. Straight into the middle of the lens there with that beautiful red backdrop. If I angle this beauty dish now down even further, give us an even more dramatic lighting coming in here, and we turn the body towards the tripod here, 45 degrees, and look over the shoulder towards me now. Eyes to me, 3, 2, 1, go. Beautiful, I love it. 3, 2, 1, go. We'll see a lovely light there where the light now is even closer to our model and giving us that lovely dispersal of flat yet hard light. But what if we want to make a little bit more of the red backdrop? We can zoom out slightly, come back a little bit, do exactly the same pose again there for me. And I'm going to see how this light is affecting that red backdrop from all the way over here if we're doing a half-length portrait to showcase off the look. And we can see here that we have a vignetting top and bottom to the shot. We also have soft light coming back off of the backdrop as an ice cream van goes past, and it is boiling hot today. Should we get an ice cream and put it in the shoot? I'm just going to go, let's just go and do it. Where's that ice cream van? I had it go past. I am going for an ice cream. I'm running for an ice cream, mate. Are you selling? I'm doing a photo shoot and I want to use a Mr. Whippy style ice cream.
Yeah.
This is amazing timing.
You having one, darling?
This wasn't planned.
Are you having one?
Yeah. Do you want one? That's it, that's what we do. This is how we roll. I'm doing some ice cream, to be fair. So yeah, that wasn't what was supposed to happen, but we're doing it this way now. So now we have a prop to elevate this shoot. So before we were just going to show you how to work in a small space and how to use these boards and how to move things around and how to use the light in very subtle and different ways. Now we're just going to do a prop shoot and take lessons about being spontaneous. Be spontaneous in life. Life's too short not to be spontaneous. And support local business, which you just did. See, again, spoiler alert, we were going to bring these sunglasses in halfway through, but I'd completely forgotten about them because an ice cream van turned up on the forecourt. So now we've added the sunglasses, whereas if we take them off and we take the ice cream out of the picture just by bringing it down, you can take a nice shot there, and Zoe's just going to keep smiling and just keep doing slightly different things with her expression, and that's cool. And 3, 2, 1, and go. And they're cute and stuff, and the outfit works, and it's nice and simple. And we have to give ourselves a pat on the back for being able to marry up the lights and work in a small space, but it's not really telling us a story. Whereas the minute we bring in an ice cream, the minute we bring in the sunglasses, we're making something feel a bit summery, something feel a bit different. A lot of models, when they're working in front of the camera, especially if they're new or they're not professional models at all, will struggle with what to do with their hand. We now have at least one thing Zoe can do with her hands because she has to hold that ice cream. So that ice cream is now being held and she's going to hold it in there, 3, 2, 1. And every time we see a flash, we're just going to change slightly differently and change and change. And now, there you go. And now you can see with the other hand, she can immediately bring them up to the sunglasses on that side. Bringing hands up to sunglasses means that they naturally go in a really, really posed position because we just pinch with the thumb and forefinger and the other 3 fingers sort of land. And what we can now do is we can start to play about with the colors on the ice cream by getting Zoe to come and stand a little closer to me here. And we'll start to really bring the ice cream in front of the face there for me. That's what I want, there. It's just gonna be, and move the hand away that's catching it and move the ice cream towards me and give me a really shocked expression. There. And I'm going to change my point of focus now so that the focus is on that ice cream. That's it. Good. Okay, it is now 3 minutes later and Stephen is here. Look at Stephen now, look at him. We have dressed him differently from his normal gym shorts. He is now back in the suit and we've put the white shirt on. They're very timeless. L'enfant, that sort of timeless sort of image that you would get there, men in white shirts with muscles. It will last forever, this, Stephen, for you, this image, yeah, which is really, really cool. And we've managed to just a little bit of, again, talk about timelessness. Calvin Klein. What's the line from Back to the Future?
Calvin Klein? It's written all over your underwear.
No, never. Did you know as well, sorry, this is a different, I'm going to keep recording this because this is good. But you know Back to the Future, right? Obviously, yeah, of course, right. We are now, the first Back to the Future was set in 1955, right? They went back to the 1950s. That distance between then and now is the same as the distance from 1955 to the Wild West in Back to the Future 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I was like, oh God. Right, apparently the Wild West in America only lasted about 25 years. It wasn't a very long period of history.
It was a little before my time, so I
okay,
really don't know.
Cool.
Was the Wild West still happening when, like, the wars were happening? Like World War I and II? Proper West, like, isn't it? They had electricity and running water and everything whilst they were still in the Wild West.
We should just do this.
We should just
American history with Zoe. She visited Disneyland once, went on that Thunder Mountain ride and thinks that that's the entire Wild West history of America. Still going on. They put me in a minecart. Right, let's do all that again. So we've managed to style Stephen now with the open shirt, which is completely timeless. And we're showing a little bit of the Calvin Klein there, just to draw your eye into the abs and just to really create something that's got a more fashion feel to the picture, something that's a bit more high end and something that's a bit elevated from just standing there in your gym shorts showing off your muscles. Cool. So we're going to take the shot here. We've kept this light in exactly the same place because that's my favorite lighting position from what we did previously. It's showing off shape and form. And if we just take this photo here, okay, muscles, oil and styling now, all those 3 things added together with that lighting, we're going to create something like this. Just pull open the shirt just a little bit there for me. 3, 2 and 1. Good. But we don't want to do that. Okay, they're real simple shots. They're easy shots to take, but they look a little bit forced. Let's add something different. B&Q, budget range, leaf blower, McAllister brand, tag them, like them, do whatever you want. They do economical garden hardware, I think is probably the best way I would describe it. Keep that open shirt there for me, just in there, and I'm just going to blow a little bit of wind into you there for me. You're going to turn your head off so you're looking across that way there for me. Let that shirt go down because I'm going to try and blow it there myself. And here we go. We're going to set our picture up first, take the first shot to make sure everything's firing. That's good. A little bit of weight in that back leg again there for me if we can. That's good. 3, 2 and 1. There we go. There it is. Yeah, good. Just keep moving every time you see a flash. Yeah, that's perfect. Just in there. There. Yeah, hands wide again. Yeah. Simple as. You probably didn't hear a thing. I was doing my best. Try and make that look cool. But there we go. That's a natural one. That's a natural, there you go. Natural, simple, little elevated shots. We're just going to do one slight change here for me, okay? The body position's a bit front onto that light. I want to add even more tone to it. So you're going to stand a little bit facing this way. and then you're gonna turn the abdomen this way, there for me, just like that. Cool, we're gonna do the same thing again with the leaf blower, and you're just gonna drop your head down so you're looking down towards that box there for me on the floor. Real simple. Gonna try and do it myself here. Good stuff. I'm taking a low angle so that he looks elevated in the picture, so he looks nice and big. Try and keep the hands down by the side. 3, 2, 1, go. That's good. And this time, just bring one hand up into the hair there for me if we can. 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. And there we go. And that's how we stop the scroll. That's how we get something a little bit different. And this is where we see the reaction from your client who hasn't seen any of the pictures up to this date.
Oh, yep. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna tag Calvin Klein in all of these.
What we had in mind was like a bit like Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity video, kind of 90s clean line aesthetic. Something like that is what we were looking for, although I have had a shake of the head behind the camera, so that probably wasn't what we were looking for. What was the inspiration for this shoot?
Cruella de Vil.
Cruella de Vil. Oh yes. Okay, so we'll beep that. It's Cruella de Vil meets Beetlejuice. That's what we're going for here, which is kind of like, everything's a throwback to something from 20 years ago anyway, so it probably is a 90s throwback. We've got a sheet of paper here, which we've hand drawn with just a Sharpie pen, some rough sketches, some rough sort of graphics, pineapples, question marks, light bulbs, stars. What do you think of that?
Cute. I didn't know you did that yourself.
There you go. It is cute, and we did do it ourselves. This stripy wallpaper you can get from most online delivery companies that will send it straight to your door, or from B&Q itself. And then over here, we've just got some leftover sticky wallpaper. Again, it's sticky back wallpaper, so it's easy to stick on. It's gone on one of our blocks here. We created this set, which will look, in my mind, is going to look amazing in black and white. Not only is it going to look amazing in black and white, it's also going to look amazing in black and white because of what Myla is wearing. She's got these amazing glittery shoes, she's got a dark coat, and she's got a dark bodysuit as well. So with black and white conversions, that's going to make sense, and it's going to give us some real contrast in the image. I'm going to showcase with you now today the first lighting setup that I was ever shown around about 21 years ago. It is a simple 2-light setup. Key light, main light over here on my D-Light RX4. These lights, this RX4, is nearly, I think, over 16 years old, and you can get them online for around about £200.
Just going to interrupt this video just to say that I found one online for less than £100, and that was with a really simple quick search. You probably find it even cheaper elsewhere.
They go straight into the wall, straight into a plug socket, and I'm still using it after 16 years for this high-end fashion shoot. That can't be a bad thing. We've put our Octabox on the side here, and it's just come to the side, so we're just shooting with this light coming slightly from the side, which means we have the potential to maybe have shadow on this side of the face and this side of the image. We want contrast, but not too much contrast. That's why we're using this second light here. Quite high up on a panoramic softbox, we've got our Elinchrom 3, which is a light 16 years younger than this light, and they're going to work together in the same shoot, which is really cool. And this fill light is going to knock in some highlights and some detail into those shadow areas, which gives us a slightly more balanced image. But we're still going to have themes and elements of contrast, because this light here is 3 stops underexposed from this light here. That's a lighting ratio there of 1 to, I think 4. 1 to 2, 1 to 4. It's a lighting ratio of 1 to 8, I've just worked out. Cool, so we've got our camera set up here. We're shooting at, because we're shooting a single subject, we can shoot at ISO 100, 160th of a second, and I'm going to be shooting at f8. I'm giving myself as much depth of field in there because we're going to be changing the focal length, and there's going to be elements of foreground and elements of background that I'm going to want to be largely sharp in the picture. Myla's just going to have a real simple pose there, right at the end of the studio here. Always putting with a posing, a good way to start off with posing is make sure that your weight, there we go. Making sure that your weight is balanced onto just one side of your body means that you're using one side of the body more than the other, means you're naturally bending limbs, bending legs, bending hips, and creating shape and form. She's a great poser. looking straight towards us. I'm shooting here roughly on a 50 mil focal length, and we'll come up with a very simple shot just like that, with the set and the leading lines coming through the middle. We got Myla coming right through the middle of the picture. She scampers forward to see how that looks. How are we there? What do we think?
Oh, that's so good.
Right, okay, so this was the test shot, okay? So we keep everything positive, we keep a lot of encouragement in the room, and we chip in with little ideas. And then once we hit the magic sweet spot, and you'll know what that magic sweet spot is because you'll see the image come through the camera and you get a little bit of a goosebumpy feeling in your arm, you can get to that point and start to really refine that moment and make it really, really sing and make it really, really jump off the canvas. We're ready to do some flow posing. Yeah. Cool. So, nice and simple. Don't be afraid to move the feet. Don't be afraid to give yourself a big stance. Don't be afraid to step forward. Don't be afraid to step back, because you can step forward or back on this big, soft light source behind us. Don't be afraid to grab the dress, and you don't have to look at the camera. Just continue to do different things, okay? Every time you see a flash, we're gonna change it. And in 3, 2, 1, here's your first picture, go. Change. Good, change. Whoa, that's nice. Do that one again. Go, 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 change. Beautiful, and change. Beautiful, change. Beautiful, let go of the dress, bring the hand into the hair, that's it. Hand up onto the hip there for me. Perfect, looking back towards me with that one. Beautiful, now looking over to the side as you were, that's lovely. 3, 2, 1, grab the dress. Perfect, back towards me, 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, good range of shots there. And then when we look back through these shots, we see that there's a real natural element to the posing. A real natural, and look at that one. And that doesn't happen. These sorts of poses, these sorts of ideas, these sorts of shots, these natural shots that people always come to us to want to have. I want something that looks professional, but I also want something that looks natural, something that looks like me, something that looks authentic. Only happens in a genuine, authentic experience and in a genuine, authentic collaboration that happens when you achieve a safe space where both people are working in collaboration together. Some direction from me, but ultimately the flow and the effort and the ideas is coming from the other side. And then where you meet in the middle should be magic.
It is.
It is. Lucy, describe your experience today in 3 words.
Empowering, amazing, fun.
Empowering, amazing, and fun. If you've enjoyed this video, there's tons more on this YouTube channel. Have a look at the videos on here. If you want to learn more, you can go to nofussmus.com, subscribe, do all the things on there, have a look at all of my training, seminars on there. We've got a 1 light, a 2 light, and a 3 light workshop, which will give you the basic fundamental foundations on how to use professional lighting in your studio, in your home studio, even on location. Say nice things, be kind, all the best.